everybody. I'm here doing a spotlight with Lynk Killby, and we're here in Newfoundland. Oh. What town are we in again?
This is Blaketown.
Blaketown.
Which is South Dildo, they call it.
Okay.
Which could be considered the asshole part of it, right? The South Dildo.
Well, folks, we're south of Dildo.
Yeah, we are, right? No, Blaketown we are.
Okay. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be here.
I'm happy to have you.
Lynk has some real history in tattooing, and I'm so honored to throw some questions at you and have you share a little bit of your personal history and maybe share some stories.
Sure. Whatever. I'm not a secret.
Yeah.
I'm not a secret. I'll tell you whatever I know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't know nothing.
That's right.
You know?
So Lynk cut his teeth in Toronto. He grew up tattooing there, and just recently he's moved to Newfoundland.
Yeah, 4 years now I've been here.
Yeah, and so he's got some great stories. You started out late 80s doing your first tattoo, and then, or mid 80s, you did your first tattoo.
Yeah, I really played around with it a lot, right? Back in the early 80s, I was really interested in it, like even before that when I was a kid. But I never really got into it until I was like in my late teenagers, when I really started getting into it. And then piercing, like too, I pierced too for forever, right? Yeah. There was a point when piercing made more money than tattoos.
Yeah. Oh, there was a lot of value in that.
You know, we'd be sitting around the tattoo shop, and a lot of times I would be piercing and making more money than the guys tattooing, and they were like getting all mad because they didn't learn how to tattoo.
That's right.
So I'd walk out with $1,000 in my pocket, and they'd be sitting around with a couple $100, maybe.
Yeah.
So I was like, should have went and learned to pierce, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So in the beginning there, it turned out that piercing was making way more money than tattooing. And then obviously you can't pierce, and piercing was dropping out. Then you just do more tattooing, right? So you kind of combine both the trades into one, right?
That's right.
So.
And it was the late 70s that you first started hanging around Dee's shop.
Yeah, from high school actually. You know, like when I was in high school, see. Rick from Nightwind went to the same high school as me, so we were always hanging around all those guys, right? That were into that kind of thing. And Dee was always a household thing because I lived in Toronto, and he had Dee's Dragon Shop at the time. Mm-hmm. So you just go over to the shop, like you just go hang out. And then he went to jail, and that's where I met Donny at the shop, and Tim. Yeah. Tim never actually worked there.
Okay. Not
in the town, not really, because he started his own thing up in Barrie.
That's right.
At the time, right?
Rising Sun.
Yeah, and then he moved to Mississauga and started Rising Sun in Mississauga. Mm-hmm. And that's where I came in.
That's where I caught up with Tim, was at Rising Sun in Mississauga.
He had two shops there though, right? One was actually on Dundas, above a storefront, like a fish and chip store was in there and everything. Mm-hmm. And then he ended up moving over to where the same row plaza is where Dee's old shop used to be, where it was Adventure.
Okay, yeah.
But that guy was cool. Dee did everything. He was such a business guy. He had like little cards where you could join. You could be a member of Adventure Tattoos, and you got a certificate. You got a tattoo shirt. You got all kinds of stuff he'd give you, right? Mm-hmm. Like to be a member, like a lifetime member. I got that somewhere. I got to go look for that.
I got a business card from Dee Bryant, and it's a construction business.
Oh, he's into everything. Like he had his fingers into everything, right? He used to, when he was in the city, he used to get all the street kids together, and he'd buy bulk pencils. Okay. And he'd have the kids go around selling pencils like they're like autistic, right? And he'd collect all the money, and then give the kids a little bit of money, and the rest would go to him. He was like hustling all the kids in there with pencils. I didn't see that personally, but I think Donny told me that story, right? About Dee when he had all the kids selling pencils.
That's a great story. I've never heard that one before.
Donny would get drunk and tell you anything, right? Like I got a million Donny stories. One time me and Donny went into this Chinese food place, and they had a big, huge lobster in the front. We just had a busy day at the shop. Yeah. So he convinced the guy that we could buy the lobster, and we ate the lobster, and the guy cooked it up 3 different ways, and we were sitting there till like 2 a.m. drinking liquor out of the little tea, the tea things, hammered in there. They finally kicked us out.
Sure, yeah.
Oh man, Donny's a trip.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to interview Donny. I wish I was there to because I'd call him out.
Well, I interviewed Tim, not Donny.
Oh,
I never did get to meet Donny.
Oh, you got to meet Donny.
So sad that I didn't catch him.
Such a character. Always tried to dress well, you know. Mm-hmm. Like Donny was a character. He always wore a vest.
Yeah.
You know, when he was tattooing.
Dee was a sharp dresser too.
Yeah, yeah.
When I saw pictures of Dee, I was like blown away. Like, holy mackerel, he's sharp dressed, handsome man. Like,
yeah, big fella.
Yeah, he was a big guy.
Yeah, big fella, he's a big guy. But you know what? He taught that to Donny, right? To be respectful, and he yelled at him all the time. Hey, that guy's paying your rent. You know, don't treat him well. You know, he'll come back. You know. Mm-hmm. But they come from the old days where they do the line work, and then you pay for the line work, and they send you off. Okay. So they get you in twice, so they double pay you. Right?
That's right.
Every scam in the book, they could do it.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a learning thing. I mean, if you did something wrong, they told you, right?
Yeah. Well, for as much as Dee was a wild, egregious character, he was intelligent too, and he was a businessman.
Oh yeah. He used to have a huge house on at the bottom end of Highway 10, and after he got out, I don't know where he got all this money from, but he had a lot of money. He had a nice big house with a swimming pool in the backyard, like really nice house. So whatever he did it right because he made a lot of money. And his wife was a nurse. I think Eleanor was a nurse, so worked for somewhere as a nurse anyway.
Yeah.
Did you meet his wife too?
No, I didn't.
Oh no, she was a character too. Well, anybody that would put up with Dee, right? It's got to be something.
Sure, yeah. And how did you get your start with Dee? Like, how did that transition?
Just hanging out. You hang out in a shop long enough, they put you to work. That's you know what I mean. And you can become friends. And first you start sweeping up around the shop or cleaning up around the shop, and just picking them for information, right?
Yeah.
And then you go and apply it. Right?
That's right.
And then sooner or later you become a threat because you're tattooing in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So they just give you a job. Why would they not give you a job? You're already making money. Why not make money off you? Mm-hmm. And he was good at that, right? Like he could do that. Right?
Yeah.
Then I left to the military. I screwed off, went to the military for a few years, and tattooed through the military, and then got out. And obviously, when I finished with the military, the first thing I'm going to do is go back to the tattoo industry because that's what treated me the best.
Yeah. And
I hooked up with Timmy again and started working with Timmy, and then going around, you know.
And that was in the early 2000s that you...
No, that was in, I got back, 2004, I think, 3 or 4, something like that.
And it was 85 that you said that you did your first tattoo.
Yeah, my first actual tattoo professionally. Scared.
Yeah, I was just say, how did that go?
Oh, man, I was shaky. So I almost doubted myself right out of a job of doing this, right?
Yeah.
Because you think, I'm terrible. You know, you think, this is terrible. I'm terrible. Yeah. You know, you look around at everybody else's stuff, and they're whipping off stuff that's really cool, and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull through this, but I guess if you practice long enough, you do, right? You kind of stay relevant to some people like your stuff, so they keep coming back, and that's what encourages you, right, to carry on.
Now, at the beginning before we started the interview, you were showing me some of your acetate stencils that you cut. Your first tattoo, did you tattoo it with an acetate stencil? My first tattoo I didn't get to do the outline.
Okay. Donny did the outline and I colored it. So that was my very first, that was my first at lining was after that, right? Yeah. But you know what? The guy who helped me the most was Kevin Willoughby. He was the guy that helped me a lot. We'd go do these stripper parties and tattoo strippers, and they didn't give a shit who was tattooing them. They just some guy show up with equipment and tattoo. Yeah. So he was the guy that really pushed me toward, hey man, you should be doing this more. You should do this more. Mm-hmm. So I just started doing more of it, and then that's when I got on with Timmy, right? Yeah. So I got back in, Timmy said, yeah, you can work here, and because Yobby was working there. And then through that shop, that's where I met Jay from Addictive and Jackie. Yeah. And then I went to New York to do that piercing thing when the piercing blew up. Okay. For Cara Moshimer at Gauntlet. And then I came back, and then I taught Jackie how to pierce. Yeah. Her and Jay just opened up their shop, Addictive. So that's kind of how it went, and I just carried on working, and then Timmy left, and I went and worked another shop. I worked at Artistic Integrity for a little while. That guy was a trip, but anyway, then I just opened my own. Mm-hmm. It's time to open your own. There comes a time when you have to, right? Yeah, absolutely. I was really surprised when you shared with me that you taught Jackie how to pierce, because she's wicked piercer. I never knew. She probably told me, but I couldn't remember how she got into piercing, and you're the reason. Well, I taught her, yeah. Well, I didn't teach her because she went way beyond me. Mm-hmm. Like now she does all kinds of stuff, but I just gave her the basics.
You gave her the crash course.
The basics of whatever I learned in New York. I showed her what I learned in the basics and helped her out. Went to London a few times to help her out, and then she just took off with it. Now, she's like the champ piercer now. She's been piercing forever now, right? But she used to be a hairstylist, I think, at one time, right?
That's right, yep.
Yeah. That's what she was doing when I first met her.
The Gauntlet, that was a very prestigious school outside of going to Fakar. I hope I'm pronouncing
it. Was, Fikar Moshemer, yeah. But all his guys were the guys teaching in New York.
Okay. So he was behind that.
Yeah, he was the main guy, like Fikar, yeah.
That's interesting, because I know a little bit about that.
The Gauntlet? Yeah.
Them, but not a lot, yeah.
And that was funny, because the whole time I was at the Gauntlet, the piercing thing, Darren Rosa from Rising Dragon was downstairs. That's where their tattoo shop was, and tattooing in New York was still illegal at the time.
Yeah.
So I was spending all my off time down at the tattoo shop, because I didn't want, at the time, I just didn't want to hang out with all those people up there. It was more of a, I don't know, like a San Francisco vibe. I'd be hanging out down at the tattoo shop, and I looked so out of place. I had a big black beard, and I show up in New York with a lumberjacket and a black beard, looking so Canadian. Didn't even realize it.
Yeah, you just needed some maple syrup.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe a Tim Hortons coffee in your hand, and you'd be.
Yeah, then it would have been even more.
The Canadian costume.
Yeah, big time. So I tell people, like, when I'm tattooing people, you're in their space so much, and they have so much energy around you. You can feel it. It tires you out if somebody's tense and whatever, and you just tense right through it with them, right?
Yeah,
you can feel it. It wears you out. It does wear you out.
It does. We're doing more than just putting a mark on the skin.
I think so. And you're telling your stories. People don't. That's the thing that we're losing. You go to the tattoo shop, and there's always wicked stories from the guy tattooing you. And a guy like Gil Monte always used to say, "You're the man that pins the metal on people. You pin the metal on people. You tattoo them. You're putting a bit of yourself on them. You're giving them the stories, you're giving them all that stuff, because that's what they want.
Okay, yeah.
You're making a memory for that guy. You're putting the metal on him. You're pinning him with a story, and
that's really cool.
Not so much the art. The art's part of it. I mean, obviously, the art's, you want beautiful art, you want good tattoos, but it's the memory and the experience you get at the tattoo shop, and how you're treated, and how cool the environment looks, right?
Sure, yeah.
Because you don't go to a tattoo shop like your dentist shop. I hate those shops. I walk into them right away. I go, "There's no love here. There's no tattooing here. No love for the business."
Yeah. I tell my clients stories all the time. I have hundreds of stories.
I'm constantly talking with them. Yeah, like I'm constantly into, and sometimes they're relevant, sometimes they're not relevant to what they're into, right?
Yeah.
You just try to do cool shit for cool people. That's all it is. That's how I do it anyway. Right.
In your shop, Lighthouse, that you opened in Port Credit, Mississauga, you were there for 20 years?
Yeah, I was there for 19 and a bit. So just under 20 there.
Okay. And then what was the catalyst that made you want to come out here?
Well, it cost me like 60, 70 grand during COVID to keep the shop open, because it was $6,000 a month rent. But so that was a big factor of closing up. And it's so hard to close something that you worked so hard on,
Yeah.
Like, I put a lot of sweat equity into that place, and times, and good times, bad times, changing crews over, So it's not all it's cracked up to be to own a tattoo shop, or any business for that matter, right?
That's right.
So when I closed it, it was kind of sad. I mean, I was in the shop, and I had all the stuff packed up into the U-Haul and everything, so I put everything in a big, huge U-Haul, and didn't quite know what I was going to do at that time. Yeah. And then the missus from here. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. So I came here, and I looked around for spots, and this spot came up, and I was like, you know what? It's small. Let's start small, see how it goes, and maybe I'll get a bigger shop after. But now that I've been here like 4 years, I love this little space.
Yeah. I would think it would bring up a decent amount of adversity in you to go from that and then come here, and it'd be just quiet at the start.
Oh, my first year here was quiet. Quiet. And if it wasn't for, you know what they say, when you open a shop, you should be near a barber shop, a hair salon, or a bar, and I'm right beside a hair salon.
That's right.
So, and as well as me, a lot of our customers are women, and women tend to tell their friends, so when these guys were coming in and out, I talk to them and bring them in and show them the work, and they slowly they tell their friends, and before you know it, I've got a little bit of a clientele again.
Sure, yeah. If you think about your career in maybe 4 segments, if you've got 40 years of tattooing in
the good, the bad, and the ugly kind of thing.
Well, the first 10 years, what would be the highlight of the first 10 years of your career?
The first 10 years of tattooing was just a sponge.
Yeah, man,
I couldn't get enough of it. I probably should have got in trouble. I probably should have got arrested. I was in every tattoo shop, doing everything I could do to get. I didn't really want a name. I wasn't looking to get a name in the business. I was looking just to tattoo. It was such a cool thing to do. It's
such a strong allure to it, right?
Yeah,
it had this special.
Especially if you had any little bit of a talent, like any bit. I'm not saying I'm talented, but I'm just saying if you could pull it off. As soon as you pull off your first good tattoo, man, you go home, you don't stop talking about that tattoo. Yeah, until you do the next one.
That's right.
And you're like, man, that came out pretty wicked, man. I want to do another one. And then you get going, and then before you know it, you just. You're just tattooing because you love the tattoo. I love tattooing, man. I still love tattooing. I'd say, man, I'm going to tattoo. I'm going to be like Tony at Point St. Charles. I'm going to tattoo till the kids come in and say, you can't tattoo anymore. You know what I mean? And then they take over. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think Jerry Swallow did the same thing. He tattooed right up. He still tattoos. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, you know what I mean? So I don't think I could see an end to it yet. Do you? Mm-hmm. Do you see an end to it? I don't.
I don't. There's a thread that ties a certain amount of tattooers together. And the common thread between all of us is our deep love and appreciation, our willingness to endure whatever it takes to continue on.
You know what? And tattooing changes so much no matter where you go. Mm-hmm. Like when I was going to the U.S. and doing all the conventions around the States, their style of tattooing is different than our style of tattooing. Mm-hmm. Like up in Canada, it's just a different way. They talk to people differently. Their bedside manner is a lot funnier. It's like they're harsher, kind of. Mm-hmm. Where Canadians, we're kind of nice. Well, we're known to be nice, right?
That's right.
But I did some. A couple of my friends, like even little Vinnie Myers, has got a shop down in Baltimore. My friend Dave works for Vinnie. And I've seen him. I've been on the phone with him, and he'll say, "Oh, hold on, somebody's coming in." They'll say something stupid. He'll say, "You get the fuck out!" I would never tell my customers that. I've never swore to customers and told them to get the fuck out. Just because they came in with an attitude. Mm-hmm. American guys don't put up with that kind of stuff like we do here, right? I'll tell people, change your attitude, leave and come back. But usually those are young kids. They do it over there. They'll yell at anybody.
Sure, yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
So it's a different way, and they got different styles. And then you go somewhere else, even province to province to province. BC tattooing is different than Toronto tattooing. Mm-hmm. Toronto tattooing is different than Montreal tattooing. Yeah. If you go around, you'll see the little differences of how they work, how they do. Even here in Newfoundland, I haven't really gone around to all the shops here and everything because I feel like I'm a mainlander and I don't want to disturb anything, you know what I mean? I don't know that many people.